من ركوب المروحيات الفاخرة وتجارة الساعات الثمينة في لندن إلى جلسة غيرت حياته تماما داخل المسجد. مليونير بريطاني شاب لم يكن يعتقد يوما أنه سيصبح رجلا متدينا، فما الذي حدث في تلك الأسابيع الستة؟ وكيف تحولت رحلة طيران عابرة إلى بداية قصة اهتداء هزت مواقع التواصل؟
I buy and sell watches.
Aside from buy and sell watches, what else?
I buy and sell watches. I buy and sell tickets for events, and I've just started back boxing, and I keep up with prayers.
MashaAllah. Let's talk about that. As you mentioned the prayers, right? I don't want to. You've mentioned it on quite a few podcasts. Your reversion to Islam, right? We'll touch over basically like what happened, sort of thing, and I'm going to relate it to business as well. So tell us, like, how did the whole reversion of Islam happen?
Completely unexpected. Never ever did I think in my life would I ever become a Muslim or would I ever become religious even. I was out with my friend, his name's Danny Dean. Another jeweller, buys and sells watches in Hatton Garden. We was out in my dad's helicopter for the day. And
Aston Martin helicopter.
Yeah. We was out because he was on my case. You'll take this one out, you'll take that one out, you won't take me out. I said, come on, right, no problem, we'll go. I've managed to organise it, rang my dad, right, let's take it out. We ended up going to Cornwall and coming back. He said, right, I've got to be back at a certain amount of time because my mum's going to take her shahada. Well, we was all together anyway. I said, well, go on, we'll all come. No, it ain't a problem, is it? No problem, because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So I've got in there and I genuinely felt something in the mosque that I've never felt anywhere at all. So I thought, I'm right. And the thoughts that I was having was amazing. Like, imagine having God behind you. That was the sort of thing I was thinking. Now, to go into detail would be difficult for me now, but it was something that I haven't experienced ever. So I looked at my friend Daniel. I said, like, wow, like, I can't believe what's just happened to me. Do you know what I mean? He said, like, get me a Quran and let me read it. And then every page I was just felt, it was so relatable and I was so compatible with what was in the Quran. I said, I think I want to take my shahada. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to read it again. I read it again, started talking about it, and then I looked and thought, what a beautiful community, what a beautiful and simple religion, and this can help me in this life and the next. So I thought, it's a no-brainer.
So at the point when you first went into the mosque, when your friend's mum was taking the shahada,
Her shahada, yeah.
to her shahada, to, you know, you actually taking your shahada, what was that time? How long was that?
6 weeks.
So you read the whole Quran in that 6 weeks?
Twice.
And then you decided, what made you actually decide? Because there's one thing seeking knowledge and reading the Holy Book of Islam, and then there's one thing of like, do you know what? I want to join this. So there was a ticking moment that made you actually want to become a Muslim?
Yeah, that feeling that I got in the mosque and anything else only God can answer.
Yeah, fair play. And this is where I want to revert it back to, yeah? And how I want to revert it to business. A lot of people that I speak to, whether they're Muslim or, you know, whether they follow a religion, they conduct business in almost like a different type of way. So I want to ask, has your reversion to Islam made you conduct business or yourself in a different way as to before? If I had to give an example, you know, owning a nightclub in Islam, you probably couldn't do that because, you know, it involves parties and whatnot. So has it made you think about conducting business in a different way that's compatible?
Um,
Not to say that you're doing anything anyway that was against Islam, but like, just
Listen,
has it made you think?
I'm only a student. I'm still learning. Be aware, I will probably make loads of mistakes.
Yep.
And I will hold my hands up to every single one. I'm not perfect. Only God is perfect, as you well know. And like I say, I will make mistakes. And thankfully, I will try to make them as minimal and as less as possible because I've got some very good people around me to point and steer me in the right direction.
Of course.
And my intentions are extremely good. I feel it in my heart.
That's the main thing.
You know, I feel it. Like if I do make a mistake or I do something wrong, I do feel it in my heart. Now, that's what... I've never really had that before. But now I'm conscious of doing something wrong, which makes me feel like, you know, it's powerful stuff. No, it's very difficult for me to explain what's inside, but Not really. Obviously, there's rules and guidelines, and I will do my utmost best to stick to them. Now, that's what matters.
Of course. Yes.
I'm only a student in the religion, but I will do my best to learn as much as I can and be the best Muslim I can.
You hit the nail on the head with that answer. You can't ask for anything different other than what you just said. Exactly that. And also on that note as well, I got quite a few revert mates, right? And when they revert, they say Islam's the truth, so they want to revert the people around them as well. Have you ever had the conversation with your dad, or how do you think he'd take it? Would you want to revert your dad?
Like your friends say, I'd like to revert everybody. Because I believe it's the truth.
Of course.
I believe it's the path of righteousness, and I believe it can help everybody in areas they wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
But,
all in God's timing, basically.
like, listen, if it's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah.
For me, I'm very grateful that the religion was brought to me, and I accepted it, and God's made my path extremely easy. He has. I've had a little bit of backlash, what I expected, but from every Muslim brother, all I've had is love. There's been a few trolls on social media. I'm sure you get it yourself. Racist people, bored racist people, people that have got nothing in their life apart from or people that maybe dislikes me anyway. Now they've got another reason
to not like
to point the finger and call names.
Yeah,
which never really has bothered me, because again, like I say, I try my best to be a good person, and I wasn't a bad person before. And do you know what? I said to my dad on a podcast previously, because the Muslim thing came up, and cut a long story short, we was getting asked questions to and fro, and I said to my dad, like, what do you think? Do you think it's made me a better person? And he stopped and he went, I don't think it's made you a better person, which is not an insult, because I don't believe I was a bad person.
Yeah.
I wasn't a bad person. I'm definitely, now I would say I'm definitely a better person, personally. Yeah. But he said, no, but what I would say, it's enhanced you as a person, which I think was a great way of saying it.
Yeah.
Because it has.
Yeah.
It's made me want to do better, made me enjoy doing better things.
When you have kids eventually, will you bring them up with Islam?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I wouldn't want to restrict them. And listen, if they got older, I would leave my kids to do what they wanted, but I would try and direct them down the Islamic path.
Yeah.
Because it's helped me. It does help me on a day-to-day basis. Every single day that I wake up. Before I used to get up and pray Fajr is a beautiful thing. I feel good all day. It's made me appreciate what I have got and still want more. But if I don't get it, I'm happy with what I've got. I appreciate having air in my lungs and being alive. Now, I've never felt like that in my whole life.
Because you don't think of it like that, do you?
No, but now I do.
Yeah. How long have you been Muslim for now?
Since September 2022.
Would you say it's almost felt like a rebirth?
I wouldn't say so much a rebirth. It feels like I've had my eyes covered, like I feel so like I can't genuinely, it's such a hard feeling for me to explain. I just feel better. I want to do more. Everything seems easy. When something don't go right, I don't feel so bad. I'm not so harsh on myself. Look, tomorrow's another day. If I wake up tomorrow, great. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Like what I'm just so grateful for what I've got now. I'm still striving and pushing to get more, but regardless, I'm happy with what I've got. I'm so appreciative of what I've got. And before I wasn't. Before I was like, oh, why ain't I here? Why ain't I there? Why won't this go right? Why won't that go right? Now I'm looking. Thank God I'm alive, and thank God my family's healthy. Thank God I'm here on your podcast.
Alhamdulillah for that one. No, I get what you're saying, man. That's what I'm saying. You're grateful about everything. When you have Islam in your heart, you're grateful about everything. Anything that goes wrong, you're like, Alhamdulillah. Anything that goes right, you're like, Alhamdulillah. You're grateful for it all.
Exactly.
I want to go back to business, right?
لا تنسوا الإعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في قناة فيرا نحن هنا لننقل لكم صوت الباحثين عن الحق من كل بقاع الأرض.